Hey guys, Miguel Gomez here, and we're just gonna pick up right where we left off with the last video and get to building. So first thing you want is a cleanish work area. I know it looks messy over there, but we'll clean it up real quick. So you'll also want some greases, some shock assembly grease for sure. I did have ball diff grease and our thrust bearing grease. We're working on these. I'm not sure if I'll need them yet. They are plastic safe, so I might use them to just help start some screws if they're difficult to start. You also want some bearing oil, thread lock, and double-sided tape, a knife or a razor blade, preferably a razor blade, and a good set of pliers. These aren't the best, but they do the job. Yeah, not a whole lot else. So the tools you're gonna need, it comes with a 1.5 mil and a 2 mil Allen, a turnbuckle wrench, and a nut wrench, which is great. But you're also gonna need some needle nose pliers, a side cutter, some flush plier or some flush cutters, scissors, a hobby knife, some CA glue, which I didn't mention but I do have, some nut drivers, body reamer for the body, and then just small screwdriver and your hexes. Alright, so the first step, the side rails. Alright, so side rails on, now move it on to step 2, which is the front suspension mount installation, which is bag 1. Moving right along, we're on to step 4, bag 2, which is the rear suspension. Yeah. I'm just building this straight to kit spec. Nothing crazy yet. Right on. Next is bag 3, so moving right along. Okay guys, we finished page 7, which was the rear shock mount and the upper arm mount, and now we're gonna build the diff. So for sure on this one, you're gonna want something like this or something to hold the diff in, just to make it super easy to work on. Alright, got the diff built. Feels real nice. Yeah, and this tool just made it super easy. And now, on to the next part, which is the gearbox. So that's bag 5 contents. Okay guys, now that we got the rear all assembled, it's now to move on to our bag 6, page 11. As you can see, it's coming along pretty well. It's gonna have us start off assembling the hubs. So I guess one of the main things you don't want to do is put a petroleum-based grease against plastics, because then that grease actually starts making plastic brittle, which is something you really don't want. So this is a very high quality grease, specifically designed for O-rings and seals, so expect that on the market sooner rather than later. Okay guys, so we're continuing on to bag 8, which is page 14. We're moving quite along, and I finally found the tools. That's okay. Already had one. So the turnbuckle wrenches there are actually pretty nice too. So let's carry on. Bag 8, which are the rear drive shafts and hubs. So this is actually a big departure from the DT I had. These are, the rear hubs are much more adjustable. Alright guys, so we got all the turnbuckles built to exact specs from the book, measuring with a dowel caliper. Now we're moving on to the shocks, which is bag 10, page 16. And these should be essentially the same shocks I have on my other YZ2, just with different springs. Okay, so for the bottom cap, you're going to want to start with the black collar, facing it down on the bottom, then an X-ring, but make sure to use some O-ring lube. This is the O-ring grease I was talking about earlier that my brother and I will be coming out with. Then, since it's threading, the screw's threading into metal, just a dab of thread lock on the screw. Okay guys, so after the shocks, it's now time for steering, and they didn't have the Yokomo aluminum servo mounts, but after comparing and contrasting, these Schumacher ones are very, very similar, and they should work just fine. Owning and building the first car really helped out, and it's really nice to see the progression with the rear hubs, the arms, just the gearbox. It's really evolved into a different platform, and it's really cool to see the evolution of that. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. I'll have a few more videos along the way about this car, and thank you guys for watching.